Hey everybody, it's John and Amos here with Crippled Fox Gaming, and we're going to go over some Vanguard rules for you guys, but we're going to take it in dim sum-like portions. So first off, in this first video, we're going to teach you how movement works. The way you determine how far you can move, each of your models is going to move a certain number of inches. They're going to move a certain number of inches equal to their speed. That's the SP stat here on the cards. The 5 underneath it indicates it's 5 inches of movement. So this guy right here, he is actually the flame bearer, but they all move the same distance. Each model, when they activate, you can take 2 short actions or 1 long action. A short action you can take is called a walk action, and walk is just going to be your speed, which is 5 inches. So I'm going to measure from the front of the base, and I'm going to move him, and I'll measure that 5 inches out to the front of the base. That's the proper way to measure it. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying. So he's taken a short action, which was to walk his 5 inches up to here. He's got a second short action he can take, which is to shoot. A shoot action. And these guys can shoot 9 inches. I'm cheating. These guys can shoot 9 inches. And the way this is going to work is I've measured and I'm within range of this guy. So he's going to roll a certain number of D8s. Everything you do starts with 3D8. But then the way you determine how you shoot, this guy has a ranged attack skill of 5+. So on your D8, you need to roll a 5+. So we've got 2D8 is the number of dice he's going to roll for his ranged attack. So I'm going to roll these. I fluffed. I said it was 3 and it was 2. So
it's all good.
Yeah, let's just keep going. So he's going to roll 2D8 to try to hit this guy. The number he needs is 5+. So we're going to roll that. And for every 5+, it's considered a hit on this guy. Perfect. Let's say this was a 6. There's 1 hit. I know, I'm a cheating SOB.
Yes, you are.
So he's shot this guy now. So the way you respond to being shot at is you take what's called an armor roll.
My shot.
And this
Alright, so this abyssal had the nerve to shoot at me.
And
at my stone right, on top of it. God, can't leave you alone for a second. Alright, so since I'm being shot at, that goes against my armor. Now, my armor is a 6+. So he has shot me once, illegally, but still, we'll take it.
Yep.
So I have to counter that with 1d8 to counter that. I have to hit greater than a 6 or greater in order to counter that shot.
Nice.
Ha, which means that did not hit me.
Right.
Had I gotten anything less than 6, say like that, I can't believe I cheated in that way, but oh well. I have now taken 1 point of damage. 1, bing. Now that reduces my wounds. Wounds is how much, in essence, health you have. So now I have taken 1 wound, and I now have 2 left. We'll go into how that works out later, but in essence, that resolves that.
Yep. And this guy is now considered activated. He's taken 2 short actions. One was a 5-inch walk from here to here. Another was a slightly modified shoot action from here to here. And then now it will now be Amos's turn to
kick your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. So with any luck. So he is going to activate. He will activate a model now as well.
Okay, so my model, since the Flame Bearer has been so kind to get within range of my Iron Guard, I've decided that because I have line of sight, it's a perfectly clear shot right to him, and he is within 8 inches.
I believe so.
Okay, so dwarves, bless their little hearts, have a base speed or movement of 4, which means that I can take a double action.
Yep. It's a long
up
action
to 8 in order to charge this model here. So I grant charge. Now, because I have charged, technically those are my 2 actions.
Yep.
Because it's a charge, I am allowed to then hit with no penalty. That's
Correct.
part of the charge.
Yep.
What that also does, because it was a straight line charge, I have added 1 die to my hit. So with the Iron Guard, I have a melee of 3d8, okay? So I can take 3d8, but because I'm charging, I add 1d8. Now, what I have to do is now roll the melee, which is anything that's a 3 or above will hit that silly little Bissell.
Oh, my poor guy. I just know he's just going to reap the world.
Okay, so what I have is, obviously you got flustered. I have, not too bad. That's what's nice about the Iron Guard.
Yeah.
So I have actually hit 3 out of 4. Now it's back to John.
Yep. And what I have to do now, since I've taken 3 wounds from that guy, I have an armor of 6+, and I need to make 3 saves. Since he hit me 3 times, I need to make 3 saves of 6+, and this is, yeah, we'll see. Oh, there's 2. Okay, there's an 8 and a 6, so that's 2 saves. And since I rolled an 8 in Vanguard, and 8s explode, so I get to roll another die for that, and not so much. So now my guy, since he failed 1 out of the 3 wounds, he will also take a wound. I'll put that right there.
And that also means that I have been activated as well.
Yep. And that's some basic movement and short actions. We did the walk, which was a short action, and a shoot, which is a short action. The long action he took to charge is double his movement, which could also be a run. If you didn't run into anybody, it's just a long action. If you need to scuttle across the table quickly, dwarves aren't really great at it, but they're more, short distance?
Right.
Sprinters rather than long distance runners.
You lumber along.
Yeah. So that's the movement. That's pretty much the basic movement. Other movement doesn't necessarily have to be in a straight line either. So let's say this very clever Tormentor champion wanted to circle around at some point and get to this guy. I could take my long action to run. It's 5 inches, so I'm going to double it to 10. So let's say he's going to go 5 to here, and then another 5 to here. Normally, you'd have to be able to fit. Otherwise, you're going to have to hop over a thing, and that costs movement, but I'm going to go into that some other time. So he's going to move 10 inches around to here. I'm pretty sure that's right. As far as you can move it twice the speed in inches in any direction. Basic activations are on page 16 in the rule book. That's kind of what we're going over here. So I've done, this guy's activated, this guy's activated, this guy has now activated, and that's all for movement as far as this goes now. And we'll catch you on the rest. We'll do some other ones here in a little bit.
See ya.